Welcome to 1000 PS TV. Powerful comparison at the 1000 PS Trackday season opener at the Pannoniaring. 4 road racers compete in the racetrack test. Where are the differences? Which one can prevail? What a great season opener at the 1000 PS Bridgestone Trackdays on 20 and the 21st of April 2023. Not only did numerous enthusiastic motorcyclists gather at the Pannoniaring to demonstrate their lean angle skills and have fun together, the weather also showed itself from its very best side. At a consistently sunny 17 degrees, our guests enjoyed the safe environment of a closed racetrack, while the 1000 PS team pitted 4 everyday sports bikes in production trim against each other as part of a big comparison test. Although the duel between the 4 aforementioned sports bikes seems relatively balanced at first glance, at least in terms of displacement, a closer look at the equipment and list prices shows that this is far from the case. Thus the Aprilia RS660, the most expensive machine of the comparison, costs in Germany with €11,599 equal around a third more than the Kawasaki Ninja 650, which is to be had already around impudently favorable €8,595. Pretty much in the middle are the Yamaha R7 at €10,249 and the Honda CBR650R at €9,900 with similar list prices. This should make it clear to everyone that it is difficult to almost impossible to determine a clear or fair test winner in this comparison. As mentioned, all 4 competitors have similar displacements, but the Honda stands out with its inline 4-cylinder engine concept, the other 3 each have an inline 2-cylinder. If we compare the power values among themselves, the Aprilia is nevertheless clearly in the lead with 100 horsepower, closely followed by the Honda and with a respectable distance to the Yamaha and the Kawasaki. A similar picture emerges in terms of torque, although the Yamaha R7 is able to deliver its 67 Nm at a sensationally low 6,500 revolutions per minute. But that's not surprising, since it has the powerful CP2 engine familiar from the MT-07 and was only presented in the 2022 model year. Accordingly, it is the youngest and most modern bike in the test, closely followed by the Aprilia and, already somewhat behind, the Honda and the Kawasaki. In practice, the RS660 was able to inspire us the most in terms of performance, although the Honda with 95 horsepower, and despite its 206 kg combat weight was no less sloppy to ride. But the Yamaha R7 was also able to keep up well in the hairpin bends and only had to let the competition go on the start-finish straight. In fact, its 73.4 horsepower felt like a lot more, everyone agreed on that. Bringing up the rear was the Ninja 650, which at least cut a good figure in terms of sound. Considered on its own, however, its performance figures are by no means bad and the maximum torque of 64 Nm is also relatively low, which is why we assumed that the Kawasaki must feel much more comfortable on the country road. The Aprilia's top-notch handling is due on the one hand to its well-thought-out geometry, and on the other hand to its high-quality components or the significantly higher list price. With its good standard suspension, adjustable front and rear, the great standard tires with Pirelli Rosso 4 and a bombastic braking system with radial Brembos in front and a 2-piston brake in the rear. It pulls on the ring unswervingly its course, and is also a power under braking. The Honda also does surprisingly well, although its suspension is only adjustable in spring preload at the rear. The 2021 suspension upgrade with a 41 show-up-beat piston USD fork, in which the suspension and damping are each housed in a fork leg, obviously served its purpose and ensures good damping, even without further adjustment options. Equally pleasing was the Yamaha with its adjustable suspension, equally great Bridgestone S22 and radial Brembo braking system, although the fork does tend to dip a bit under sharp braking. Only the Kawasaki was again unable to keep up with the rest of the test field. Its suspension is too much on the comfortable side for the racetrack, and the tires and brakes are also only good average. Again, we clearly see the Ninja 650 more on the Grand Tour than chasing seconds. Watch out, this is where the wheat is separated from the chaff, which is why we advise anyone who is seriously interested in one of the machines presented to self-reflect or take an extensive test ride. The absolutely sportiest bike in this comparison is the Yamaha R7 with an R6 radical seating position. With its short wheelbase, the steepest steering angle in the test, the narrow, hard seat, the low-positioned handlebars, high, far rear foot pegs and the stooped riding position, it primarily appeals to young and young at heart racers who want to learn the business from the ground up, leaving out oldies or the infirm like No Pain and co. At the other end of the spectrum, we find the Kawasaki Ninja 650 with the lowest seat height, the highest mounted handlebars and the softest seat, in short, the most comfortable position. Clearly programmed for world travel, the longer wheelbase doesn't bother either, which gives the Kawa a plus in smoothness. Only the knee angle is still quite sharp, which can be alleviated with a higher seat from the accessories. The clear winner in terms of comfort, ergonomics and handling is again the Aprilia RS660 with its ingenious geometry of short wheelbase, steep steering angle and longest trail. The result, high agility, terrific stability and the sweet spot of sporty country road and race seating position. However, we also like the Honda CBR650R with its wide and high handlebars, sporty yet touring position and centrally mounted pegs. Thanks to the long wheelbase, it literally rode like it was on rails, but didn't lack a shred of necessary agility. At least all four bikes have the legally required ABS and an anti-hopping clutch, vital on the racetrack. When it comes to traction control, things look a bit different. Aprilia has a lean angle-dependent, multi-stage traction control, Honda and Kawasaki have a two-stage one without ride-by-wire, and Yamaha does without it altogether. In our opinion, however, this is not a showstopper, since on the racetrack in dry conditions and with a maximum engine output of just over 73 horsepower, you should not often run into traction loss anyway. Something disillusionment made itself then, apart from the standard Aprilia blipper, but spread because both the Yamaha and the Honda had no quickshifter installed in the test, although at least some are available in the aftermarket. Kawasaki, on the other hand, offers its Ninja 650 customers no option at all for quick upshifts. The conclusion of our racetrack test. The Aprilia RS660 had a real performance and equipment advantage in our comparison at the Pannoniaring, but it is also significantly more expensive. The Yamaha R7, with its lively CP2 engine and radical seating position, was able to give it the most, although the small Honda CBR650R was also a real surprise. The CBR name doesn't just promise superbike looks, in fact, the bike also delivers a really great and balanced sporty riding experience. It is compact and accessible, but can also be really nippy on the racetrack. The Bridgestone RS11 fitted by Honda, wisely, further emphasized the sporty character and made for an unexpectedly sporty experience. By no means, however, do we want to label the Kawasaki Ninja 650 as a big loser, because the cheapest bike in the test is guaranteed to do exactly what it's supposed to on the country road, and, after its latest revision, is still an enrichment for this displacement class. Only hobby racers should be warned that the 650 Ninja will not meet the high expectations placed on it on the racetrack. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments, we will try to answer everything. Like the video and subscribe to our channel, then you won't miss any new videos. Thanks for watching.